story about me, my family being hunted. This was years ago though. This was I was around about I'm gonna say 8. My little sister, she was around about 4 or 5. And we lived in Cincinnati, Ohio. My mom got 6 kids, so that means I got 3 sisters and 2 brothers. Um, and we lived in what neighborhood was that? I think that was like College Hill. I think something like that. I think it was College Hill. And um, my mom used to go to work like every night. Every night, like she'd go to work because my daddy was never home. You know what I mean? Uh, he worked hard too. My daddy did live with me then. Uh, we had a good life. You know what I'm saying? Life was good. You know, my mom just got the house. We had a good life. I remember playing at that house. Me and my little sister. You know, um, one night my mom go to work and it was me, my little sister, my oldest brother, uh, my other oldest brother, um, my 2 oldest sisters, and mom went to work that night. So my sisters and then brothers there watching. And one night we me and my little sister, we was upstairs and we was playing like we lived like the attic, but it was a room, you know what I mean? And the room was a nice sized room, it had 2 parts to it, you know what I mean? One side had like a part where a window over there, and then the other side had like a window over on the other side. And I remember playing with my little sister, and she wanted to look out the window. And I think I kept asking, "What do you want to look out the window for?" And so we end up raising the window, and I remember looking out the window, and then I heard something like on the roof, and I looked up, and it was a man with a on top of my roof. And my little sister looked up too, and she seen it, and we just screamed. You know what I mean? We just booked it all the way downstairs. We was just gone. And I remember my daddy laying on the couch, and and he was tired from work. And my sisters and him, I believe they was downstairs watching TV too. And it was nighttime, and we ran to my daddy. We shook him, "Daddy, daddy, we seen somebody on the roof." You know what I mean? And he was like, "What? What?" You know what I mean? He didn't believe us really, and we shook him, "Daddy, daddy, we seen somebody on the roof." And I think he did get up, and he went upstairs and he checked, and you know what I mean? Oh, we was just like, we didn't know what to think. I know I ain't know what to think. I was like 8 years old, man. I remember, man. And somehow that incident, it just ran over. I believe he told my mother about it, my brothers and sisters, and I told them about it. So they was kind of like annoyed about it, and they believed me. So I believe it was like the next day, man. My mom, she did nursing, late night nursing. So she she went to work that night. I remember that. And my father, he wasn't there. He went to work. And my sisters and brothers, they watched me and my little sister that night. And that night, that's when hell broke loose. You know what I mean? Um, so we was all in the living room one night, and we heard something in the basement. It's like a loud, like somebody hitting the wall or something like that. That's what I remember. And I remember my brother going to the basement door, and we all in the kitchen. I'm talking about it's me, my oldest sister, my little sister, my oldest brother, and my other brother. Like, you know, and we in the kitchen. We listening to like downstairs in the basement, but the door is shut and it's locked. You know what I mean? And we start hearing some noises, and we all just like freaking out, man. Like freaking out. We all super scared. Like somebody's in the home. Like we're about to call the police. And so I know we was all in the kitchen, and we heard somebody come flying up the steps. I mean, like somebody ran up the steps real quick and just start banging on the basement door. Boom, 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 boom. And like we just, oh man, we just start freaking out. My little sister crying, and you know, I'm just so scared, man. Like my little sister, she was so scared. We had to calm her down. And I remember my brother grabbing a big butcher knife, and he like, man, I'm gonna stab you, man, through the door. You know what I mean? He yelling this through the door, like, I'm gonna stab you, man. I'm gonna stab you and get out of our house, right? So after that, it quiet down. So we all quiet in the house, man, and start hearing motorcycles, like a whole bunch of motorcycles just going around the house back and forth. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Whole bunch of motorcycles just, like them Harley Davidson motorcycles. That's what I do remember. Now that I'm older, I can say what it was. It was like Harley Davidsons, at loud noise, like, and they kept going around in circles because our house was like, it wasn't on a corner, but it was like second from the corner. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like a lot in front of our house, and I remember all of that motorcycle noise, like in the house, like, and my sisters and them, like, man, what is this? And we all looking outside, and we see motorcycles just flying past, and they doing circles, man. I'm talking about like, where's the police? If I think about this, like, where's the police at? Like when you need them, like, and like, man, we just start freaking out, man. And just everybody start tripping, you know what I'm saying? And we like, my little sister crying, mommy, and I remember myself crying, mommy, daddy, whatever. And so they kept doing this, man, over and over. Vroom, 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 vroom. And they wouldn't let us leave the house. Like we would try to open the door, and they would block the door. Like, we could not leave the house because they had the house like surrounded. And I remember them banging on, tapping on the windows, and I remember them banging on the back door and just terrorizing us. I mean, like, till we just like, man, it felt like a movie. Tell you the truth, I mean, it was like a movie. You know what I'm saying? And so that night we got hungry, man. I remember that we stayed up for like, man, late. Like, mom didn't come home till in the morning time. She worked that all night shift, and pops wasn't coming home till the morning. So we we all got hungry, and I remember my brother, and he was like, man, I'm about to just run out there. You know what I'm saying? We got to get something to eat. Like, I don't know if we had a phone or not. It seemed like we didn't have no fucking phone. Excuse my language. It seemed like we didn't have no phone at all. It seemed like the phone just didn't exist that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, why didn't we call the police? Why wasn't the police around? I don't know. I know I was like young and like just stupid at everything at that point in time. Left everything up to my older brother and my sisters, you know what I'm saying? They took care of me. So it was like no phone or nothing around. All I know, my brother said, "Man, we hungry, bro. I gotta get something to eat." So he like, "I'm about to run out." And my cousin knocks on the door. And we like, "Man, you ain't see nobody out there?" I mean, I ain't like that, but my older sisters and brothers and them, they like, "You ain't see nobody out there?" And he like, "Nah, man, what y'all talking about? Y'all tripping?" Like, so we like, "Bro, man." I mean, well, they like, "Bro, you know, we been hunting, getting hunted and all this. People knocking on the windows and scaring my little, you know, they just going crazy." Like, so my cousin like, "Man, y'all tripping, y'all tripping." So I remember that night that they uh went out and got some bologna or something. I don't know. I know it was back in the day. So they got some bologna and bread. You know how we do, black people do anyway. So, um, but they went out and got us something to eat and brought it back to the house, man. It real as it gets. We ate and we survived that night. You know what I'm saying? Mom came home. We told her the story. She believe us? Yes, she believed us. She moved out the house. You know what I'm saying? After she moved out the house, some other black people bought the house, man. And on the news, it said house was caught on fire, right? So we hear the story that some black people moved in the house, man, and these people tortured and not tortured, but scared the living crap out of them to where they wanted to leave the home. I mean, like leave, period, never come back. And what happened was that I guess they caught the house on fire. Um, and all along, all they wanted was just the lot. They wanted the lot on the house. All this time, like they was doing all this, all they needed to do was really like just buy the home and tear it down. You feel me? But man, they wasn't giving in. They wanted to make people leave the home and make nobody come back to the home to where they owned it or whatever. I don't know, but we end up finding out that they burnt the house down with the people in it, but the people made it out. Um, and now they got the property, man. They own the property. Now it's a car lot right now to this day. I mean, since I've been older, I've been down that way. Seen it like one time that the house is not there no more. They took over. They took the property, tore it down, and made it out our parking lot. Now it's a car like lot. And I just wanted to tell my story. Uh, Anybody else got any stories to tell? Let me know. Press the like button. Let me know what y'all think about it.